Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. Glad to be here today. I'm talking about the new Fenty Beauty Profilt'r Concealer. You know, Miss Riri has done it again. I've been so excited about this launch, but I am so tardy to the party because I woke up with, I'm just going to insert a picture. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my eye, but I woke up and I was like starting to feel like I had a sty, and so I did a hot compress, and then the next morning I woke up like that. And Miss Riri is not promising to cure that. So I did seek medical attention, so that's the only thing that sucks about being a pharmacist. So you know the doctor part is I have a doctorate in pharmacy, and a lot of times it's like you know what's going on, but you still have to seek medical attention because I do not have prescribing capabilities in where I live. But nevertheless, we're here for Miss Fenty Beauty. So let's jump into the concealer. I'm coming to you with a fresh face, so you can see me apply the Fenty Beauty foundation, and then you can see me layer the concealer over it. Don't mind my raggedy nails either, okay? It's a struggle bus today, okay? But my brows are popping. Oh, so there we go. All right. So Fenty Beauty just launched 50 new shades of concealer. 50. I'm telling you, 50. So she launched this on January 11th. They're available in Harvey Nichols. If you're across the pond in the UK, they're available at Sephora. And of course, her website, FentyBeauty.com. They retail for $26. So she released 50 shades of concealer and added an additional 10 shades to her foundation range. And I will insert that as I'm talking so you can see the new foundation ranges. So the way it works is that every concealer basically has your match to make it really easy for you. So I wear 370 in the Fenty concealer, which Fenty foundation, excuse me, which is right here. So I picked up two concealers. Now this concealer is promising to be long wear, it's promising to be crease proof, it's promising to be like medium to full coverage, it's also promising to be like brightening underneath your eyes, and sweat proof. The concealer is paraben free, and you know Fenty Beauty is cruelty free, and it's going to have a soft matte finish. So you know Miss Riri, she's promising a lot. Her complexion products so far have not failed us. As you know, I have very dry skin. I have prepped my skin. I have a little blemish here so we can see if it will be able to be covered. So I picked up shade 370 and I picked up 385. So let me explain why. So like I said, my foundation shade is 370. So I picked up concealer 370. So the way the concealers work, that they're already meant to be a brightening. So if you wear a certain shade in the concealer, you can already expect that concealer to do somewhat brightening. So you need to be careful if you're a person who likes super highlighted under eyes. I wouldn't go down too many far shades, just maybe swatch it in store because it's all available. I bought these in store, not online, the day it launched. And ironically, like I barely got my shade and I was there the day it launched. But it's already meant to be brightening, so you want to be careful when you're picking shades to already highlight your under eyes if you have to order these products online. So it's meant to already be brightening. Then I wanted a concealer that was actually my skin complexion. I don't like super highlighted eyes. I like my skin products to be very neutral finish. I'm really not a big foundation wearer, but I'm getting older. Your girl is 34. I turned 35 this year. So, you know, kind of like my mother said, darn you, you know. She's like, oh, when you probably get 40, you probably gonna want to wear some foundation. And every once in a while, I want to wear foundation. Or when I do my super, you know, dramatic eye looks, it definitely looks better if I have a little bit of coverage, or just depending on what my skin is looking like that day. So I grabbed 385. So 370 is considered to be tan, for tan skin with warm and neutral undertones, which is true. So I went up to 385 because this is more my complexion when I swatched it, and it's described, I'm looking at my notes, that it's described to be for tan to deep skin with neutral undertones. And then 380, which is in between the two shades I picked, is like tan skin with cool undertones. So I definitely have warm undertones. Depending on the season, I can learn a little red, a little yellow, but I'm a warm person. So like I said, I picked up 370 and 380, and I have played around with them just a little bit, really actually only 380, because I put some around my chin just to kind of spot conceal and just to see how I like it. And honestly, with that, I did like it. So here is the concealer, $3.85, and I'm just going to swatch it for you. So this is more of my actual complexion. So again, that's shade 385. And then we have 370. And so the unicarton also, it just looks just like how her other packaging looks. And we have the shade name down here on the bottom. And then all the ingredients saying that it's good for 12 months once you open it, and that they are cruelty free, and this product is recyclable, and it has all the claims on the side. So this is $3.70, and this is the shade that matches my actual foundation shade. So it looks like this. Bottle, super sleek. I love it. You know, it follows the line as the foundation, has a stopper on its side, and nice doe foot applicator, as you can see. So this is $3.70, and I'm going to go ahead and swatch. Okay, apparently I'm making a V, but this is $3.70, and this is the one that's supposed to be a little bit brightening, because remember, the concealers are not going to be the exact same shade as your foundation. So it's going to be a little bit lighter, just to give you that little brightening effect, that especially that we like underneath the eye, here, and usually down the bridge of our nose, if you're that type of person that likes to really be highlighted. And I didn't pick up any colors to contour with. I usually do that with some type of powder product. Now, along with the concealer, she also released 8 powders, okay? So when you look on her website, if you look on Sephora, she has indications between the ranges of what powder is recommended for you. So every foundation shade has like a brightening powder, and they have like a regular setting powder that corresponds to your foundation, right? But I didn't really listen to that. So what was recommended for the 370 range, and then basically the whole 300 to 390 range, was the honey to brighten, and I want to say yeah, hazelnut as a regular setting shade. I looked at honey, it was so dark and so yellow, and I saw, I think it's my Ray Ray have honey, and I was just like, yeah, that's not the move. So I ended up picking Cashew up, and I think this is actually recommended for like the 200 shades. And once again, we have like the hexagon print. It's great. Name is on the back. Comes with this case right here, and it actually, when you look here on the side, if you see right here, you have like a little stopper with the Fenty Beauty logo, so you can just kind of put it in the opposite way if you do not want the powder to spill out, you're gonna be traveling, anything like that. So that's great to know. So this is actually my first time opening the powder, and I would just say with dry skin, I would definitely be careful. So this is the inside top of it, and then right here, I have not opened it. You do have a long sticker, so you can just pull up on it. I can grab it, there we go. And some powder does come up, so it's nice to know. And you get a little mist in the air, but this powder is very finely milled, excuse me. So I'm just gonna like swatch a little bit right here. This is Cashew. Let me put the powder down before I drop it, because that would be terrible. And y'all know my track record, I'm always dropping something. So that is Cashew, and you probably can barely even see it, but I'm going to put a little in the sifter like this, just so we can see. See, I have take some out of the sifter into the top cap. As you can see, this is the powder right here on my finger, and this is the shade Cashew once again, and it's recommended for the shades in the 200. But I thought it would be a nice setting powder. I don't want anything too brightening, and I'm really not a person who's going to set my foundation or my concealers too much, for the sheer fact that I have really dry skin, and a lot of times that just tends to be just too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna apply, I'm gonna bring you in closer, we're gonna go ahead and apply my foundation, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the concealer on. I'm gonna do one side with a brush and then one side with a little beauty blender, so you can see the difference, and then we will go ahead and lightly set it and see what we think. Okay, I'm back, so we're gonna go ahead and get rolling on this face. So first I'm gonna go ahead and take this little Smashbox photo Photo Finish primer, and I like to use this because it's a silicone based primer and it feels very nourishing on my skin underneath the Fenty foundation, and I'm like kind of squeezing for life. You know, I have a little bit out, and I did buy the Tatcha skin primer, so I definitely waiting to try this out next. This little primer has definitely lasted me a long time. And I like to hit up my nose. I don't have many pores, but one area where my skin is a little different is from like years of kind of getting kind of sunburn right here across the bridge of my nose where you see it's darker. And then I have this fabulous spot right here that it is getting lighter, but I wish it would just leave me all together. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in with the shade 385, and what I like to do when I want to be like really just flawless, I like to kind of spot conceal this spot because like I said, it does bother me. And then perfect day to film a concealer test. I have a little blemish right here. Okay, I'm back. I was like, I have no tools. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take concealer 385. We're gonna spot conceal, like I said, and do this right here. So let's see. Only thing is, they kind of look, you do have to look. They look very similar. So this is 385. Hopefully, if you can see that. Right there. Go in with 385. This is the shade that is mostly my color. Pretty much an exact match. Just gonna do some right here. And like most women of color, we tend to be a little darker and redder around our mouth. I think I'm looking pretty good. These are just like my freckles and normal redness. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I have a dampened little beauty sponge right here. It's not an actual beauty blender, but I'm gonna go ahead, even out my skin complexion. So applying it first, I had, like I said, I've worn this particular shade around my chin, and I did not have an issue. I have a little redness. Usually I get red right here, so I'm gonna just kind of lightly, whatever I have left on the sponge. Okay, as you can see, it did pretty well on the blemish right here. Cut down a little redness. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more, but I'm really liking how this looks right here. It is feeling smooth. I do have a tiny bit of texture right here around this chin area, just a tiny bit. But so far, that looks a lot better with just a concealer. Usually, if I get my makeup done, and I've gotten my makeup done in the past, it's like, it takes a lot to cover that very dark spot, and it has lightened up with certain skincare items and toners. Okay. Our little unwelcome friend is right there. She's looking good. Okay. So that was 385. Now I'm gonna go in with the foundation, okay? Because that color was meant to like do a spot conceal. And so what I like to do is I shake it up. Sorry, the pump is dirty. My foundation shade again is 370. And I just like to put like, it's barely like a pump, barely any goes on my forehead. And I'm going ahead and taking a It Cosmetics foundation brush. Like I said, I barely put foundation on my skin, so this video might be a little bit different for people who are, you know, don't really wear a whole lot of complexion products, want to look like their most natural self, but still flawless and glam at the same time. Just going around my eyebrows, buffing it in. And even though I have dry skin, I exfoliate all the time. So it doesn't really pull too much on dry patches. And I feel okay throughout the end of the day. And you're probably gonna say like I barely added any foundation here, which is very true. So let me hit that up. But that blends in so nicely. If you can see, this blends in so nicely with the 385. Okay. So this is what my base is looking like so far. This is just with like spot concealing and adding the Fenty. So I'm gonna bring you in even closer so you can see here. If you're hearing some like little creaking noises, sorry, it's my camera, it's auto-focusing. I got a new lens. Hopefully you guys can notice so I can see you, so you can see me even better. That's what I want to say. And my eyelids look a little oily, but so far, what do you guys think? I think it's looking pretty good. I feel like, I don't know if it's just me because I'm hypercritical. I can just kind of see this peeking through just a tiny bit, but definitely the redness is cut down a lot. But I'm really liking how it's looking around my mouth area, because this can definitely be accentuated by the certain lipsticks I wear. So I'm bringing it even closer. Okay, so now I'm like super close. You can see what my chin is looking like. See what my skin is looking like. See where that blemish is right there. So far so good. I like the way I look underneath the eyes, but we're gonna go in with 370 now, because this is technically my foundation slash brightening shade that matches my foundation. So what I'm gonna go ahead, now with concealer, I don't do a heavy amount underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my right eye first. And this is all I tend to do. And I might bring a couple of dots down here. And I'm gonna just put a little bit over there. Okay, so for this side, I'm gonna take my beauty sponge, and this side I'm gonna use a brush. And we're gonna see, hopefully it doesn't dry down too fast on us, and we can go ahead and blend this out. So if you can see, that blended out like effortlessly. So that was with what's the name. And if you can see just a little bit, I have a couple of tiny little lines right here. Just because, you know, like I said, you know, your girl's been around for a moment. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my brush. I'm using my Sephora Pro. This is a number 80 highlight contour brush, so it's made for, like, you know, using concealers. And I use this a lot with my normal concealers. I mean, that blended out very easy too. Like, so this is the left eye, and this is the eye I did with the brush. This is the eye I did with the concealer. So right now I'm feeling really happy. I'm liking it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it just a tiny bit. And when I say a tiny bit, so when you set your concealers, no matter what the concealer is, make sure you tap it out. It doesn't look like it's moved. As you can see, my lines are so small. They're like really right there, right there. But I feel I look youthful. Mm-hmm. Okay. So literally when I set my concealer, I use this setting brush from Real Techniques. And I literally, so we have that powder still in the cap from Cashew. This is the Cashew powder. And I literally take just a bit. This powder is so finely milled. I don't know if you just saw it like Can you see it? I hope it caught it like on the camera, but it's just a good thing. Okay, so literally when I set, that's literally all I do. I don't even really touch the chin. Okay, I'm back and you guys saw it up close. Literally, I'm looking at my face and I just feel like I am flawless. Like, I know I might look a little flat to some people, but this is how I prefer it. And by the time I add my highlighter and my blush and things of that nature, I love it. So I am gonna check back in. Let's see. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 5:41 p.m.
Okay, so just so you guys know, it's 5:41 p.m. I'm gonna film a couple other more videos and we're gonna check back in about an hour or so and see how it looks. So one thing I am gonna do is just, I'm going to spray my face with the All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay, and this is something I would normally do no matter what I'm wearing. And like, I have no other makeup on, no mascara, nothing. Face, I'm feeling like it looks great. Yes, I'm here for it. Okay. Okay, so I will check in about an hour, 2 hours or so and let you know what I'm looking like. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and check in on the concealer and what we're looking like. So I did the rest of my makeup. I'm in the middle of filming another video that will go up on the channel. I'm using the Colourpop Sweet Nothings palette. And then I do have on the Lip Bar Prima Donna by Lip Bar in the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. Now, okay, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7 p.m.
Okay, so it's a little bit like, it's like an hour and about 15 minutes from when we checked in last. So I'm gonna bring you in closer, or I'm just gonna come closer so you can see. I'm just gonna come closer. So, okay. Now, when I filmed the other video, you see my texture here. Can't do anything about it. Like, you're seeing my soul right now with this camera and this lens. But I feel like we're looking pretty good. Now, one thing that I will say definitely is when I filmed this video, I did put some translucent powder down. And I used the Fenty Cashew powder. So I would definitely say it made me feel drier. And I feel like I came off looking a little drier, but if we look at my under eye, it's still looking pretty good. I still have those same little creases there, but everything else is still very, very smooth, very intact. This is what my chin is looking like. Like I said, I do have slight texture right there, but this side, not as much. I don't think it's looking dry. So I'm back. Overall, I'm still liking my face. So like, it's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna keep this on a little bit longer. I'm filming later in the day because that's what my schedule allows. But so far so good. I mean, I think if anything, it's maybe settled. I mean, like, if you have some fine lines already, like, you're still gonna have them. Like, it's not gonna cancel it out. But the problem is, like, is it getting crepey? Is the concealer just caking up in those lines? And it's not doing that. And I don't feel like they're accentuated. I mean, right now I'm just up in the mirror looking at myself, but if I pull away, I'm like, okay. And then right here, I feel like it looks smooth and it doesn't feel dry underneath my eye. I feel like I definitely like the finish better without extra powder. I would not bake with it. So if you're one of those people who does their base first and their eyeshadow and you have drier skin, or I would just be very careful with baking with it. But just as a light set, I was here for it. But skin is looking good. Hopefully you'll be gone tomorrow. I'm not sure what that's about, but you know, such is life, whatever. Okay, so I will come back in and check back in. Guys, I'm back with the final check-in. I tried to like wait. I was gonna really try and make it like 5 hours or so, but I'm tired. It's now 9:23 at night. And Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:23 p.m.
Okay, just so you guys know. So I put this on at like what, 5:41, so that's 6:41, 7:41, 8:41. So it's about 3 hours and what, 40 minutes or so? Not bad. So I'm gonna come in closer so you can see how I look. And I have not replied anything except for my lipstick because I ate some snacks. And we'll talk about how I feel about the products. That's like part of my first impression. Okay, so this is me up close and personal standing in front of the camera. So this is my right eye. Right here, as you can see, we're looking smooth. I still just have like those 3 little wrinkles, but that's normal. I have that. This is my left eye. That was that lovely blemish we had right there. It's looking okay. And then this was another spot that I was worried about, my chin. I have a little bit of texture right here anyway, but it's looking like the same. So that'll let you guys see like into my soul. Okay, so now that I gave you like that super up close and personal, woo, it's probably like saw within me. Woo. Anywho, let's talk about the products. So, okay, packaging is wonderful on these. I think they pair well with the foundation. You know, it's cute, it's simple, it's heavy, it's a hard plastic, unlike that foundation bottle. I believe it's like more of a glass. I mean, it's streamlined. I like how it's just nice, chic, clean, falls in line with like everything else in her brand. Okay, a powder. The packaging is great on here too. Make sure you don't miss out on the side where it has that stopper. As you guys can see, I have the stopper in. Not having an issue. So make sure you put that in. And it just actually locks in where the FB is, so you can just make sure you mash it up. So, so let's go ahead and like break everything down. So the concealers, I think she did a really good job with the concealers. If you're a person that's just kind of getting into wearing makeup and you don't know really where to begin with concealers, she does an excellent job. If you know your foundation shade, you just go straight from there. But I would kind of advise you to probably go in store to look at the concealers. So when you go in and look at the store and you go to her display section, she has all the foundation bottles lined up with the corresponding shades. And then right in front, she actually has the concealers all lined up. And the shade descriptions are right there. If like the undertone is neutral, warm, cool, olive. So she has all of it. We're talking about Rihanna. She's 50 shades. That's why I think everybody was super excited, because you know she came out on the first launch of 40 shades and she really required everybody else to like just step up their game in the makeup industry. Like if you didn't have 40 shades, don't talk to us. You coming out with 20 shades? No, we're not here for that anymore. So she really had all these like brands shook. And so now she took it to another level and extended the foundation range another 10 shades and did the same. So everything has a corresponding concealer, and I commend her for that, because inclusion is everything. Everything. Everybody loves to wear makeup no matter what shade you are. So don't shortchange us. Don't do that. So I think that's beautiful. Now the shade selections that, say that 3 times fast. The shade selections that I picked out, I think it was spot on. So like I said, I did go with the 370 concealer. Now she said this was supposed to be lighter and brightening. Now when you think about Rihanna, she's not a person that you really see with like super highlighted eyes, super contour. She's more natural beauty, you know. Not to say that nobody else is natural, but you know, she does more natural face products, and then she'll do like a little glow and definitely, you know, the highlight in the lips, okay? And she's known a lot for her eye looks, but when I look at her, I don't ever just see like super highlighted eye looks. So this is slightly highlighting. I would say this is very close to like my foundation shade. It's not the exact same shade. I do wear 370 in the foundation, picked up 370 in the concealer. So what I'm talking about now. So that's the one I put underneath my eyes. I don't think it's super brightening. I think it just blends in, meshes well with the rest of my foundation. And then for a spot conceal, like I said, I went with 385, which I think was perfect. And it matches to a T. So if you want to spot conceal, you have to go up a couple shades. But then if you want to have a really highlighted eye, you might need to go down. And I'm actually thinking about picking up maybe like one more, maybe in the shade, I want to say 310. And the only reason I've gone down so far because of the undertones. So that's the thing that like Rihanna came with. There are undertones. There's cool, there's neutral, there's warm, there's golden, there's olive undertones. So everything kind of goes down. So she did an excellent job with the shade range. You cannot deny that. As far as the concealer, I think it looks very good. As you know, I have dry skin, okay? So the concern is, how does it play on the dry skin girls? I think the concealer is great, okay? You're going to have to prep your skin correctly, but I mean, I have to prep regardless, no matter what I'm wearing, okay? So I think as far as the finish, I like it, okay? Because I don't like cakey, super dewy makeup, even though my skin is dry. I kind of like to look kind of matte, okay? So as far as the finish, I mean, I think it works well. My eye, they look smooth. I've had it on for almost 4 hours. I don't see any change. I don't see it breaking up. It hasn't really like settled into my fine lines and look crepey. I have just a couple right here. I mean, at this point in the game, who doesn't, you know? So, but I don't see like where the foundation is just kind of in there and you can tell like, okay, she has foundation because it's kind of separated in her fine lines. I don't see that at all. And I feel like it looks very smooth. It does not feel very dry. However, I will say, when I got ready to film my second video, and I think I said this when I checked in again, I did go ahead and bake. Like, I didn't really bake in the traditional sense, but I definitely put translucent powder underneath here since my base was done while I did my eyeshadow, catch any fallout. When I used the powder that way, it was just like, I'm not really feeling it. So I would definitely prefer just probably not setting it and just using a dusting method like how I showed you before. Now I realized in my tutorial I was just like, oh, I'm going to use my beauty sponge on this side and the beauty sponge on this side to set my powder, and I definitely used my brush. My bad. But I just like the dusting method if you just want to set it, and only if you're going to be like out and about all day long. But if you have truly dry skin, you don't have to really worry about this moving on you. And I like the finish of it better. I don't feel dry, but I was like, it definitely took some of the sheen away. And it wasn't super dewy, but it was just a nice natural finish to it. So the powder, I'm on the fence about it. The powder, it's not a bad powder. It's finely milled. It's beautiful. You do have to be careful with the shades that you pick. She has a regular setting powder, and then she has a brightening powder to go with all the shades. Be careful of which one you pick, because like mine was honey. I just feel like that wasn't going to brighten anything. It would just, I would have been dark. Just dark, yellow, and not looking like honey. I don't know. It was very dark, okay? So was it, and then the other powder that was recommended for me, I want to say was nutmeg. So I went with Cashew because I used to Fit Me powder every once in a while, just like a dusting, like I said before, and they're about the same shade. So if you can see, this is the medium deep 30 Fit Me powder, and I'll just kind of open it up. So hopefully you can see right there. They'll focus. Actually, they're not the same shade. So, but okay. If this was the Fit Me powder in medium deep, but this was like, I bought this during the summer, so it was definitely a little darker. But honey was very orange, very, very orange when you look at it. It's store. So that's why it's like I opted for Cashew. But if you're dry, that powder, I just don't think it's a good fit. However, the concealer, you have to kind of tread lightly. I wouldn't use too much if you have dry skin. But overall, I do like it. I like the finish. The color matches impeccable. Like, you can't tell that, like, any lines of demarcation where I put it here. it's great. So I will keep coming back to you and letting you know how I feel, and do like some check-ins like in other videos, or just like a follow-up video to this product. But overall, so far, I'm loving it. I mean, like I said, I just wish I had never put that powder underneath my eyes when I did my foundation. So, but other than that, let me know what you guys think. Like, are you going to pick up the concealers? Do you have them by now? Because I'm super late. Like I said, my eye, Fenty ain't curing all of that. So, you know, I had to go to the doctor and let it rest. And sanitize the makeup I did use prior to that, you know, thing coming full blown. But let me know down below how you feel about it. Are you excited about this release? Are you just like a snooze, or are you not? Are you very concerned because of the skin type that you have? Just let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about it. I mean, I think she knocked it out of the park, you know. So give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You know, there'll be another video very, very soon. And I'm glad that you stopped here today. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.